Hey there, gamers. It's me, Elijah. You know, that one guy. You know from band. My most memorable moment of band was when we were finishing the final set for Coven, the final act. I don't remember what it was called. And I think it was either Anshul or Ian who decided, oh, let's make this embarrassing moment from Elijah's freshman year where he broke his leg third wheeling with his friend into a vocal in the show. So then, even during championships, I would hear from all sides around me, I'd hear Elijah broke his leg ice skating.
Probably finals for SEPA for blind. Mostly because of the view. When you're going in, when you're walking, when you see everybody. I mean, you've experienced that a couple times. But it was especially impactful when I went in to volunteer for Vessel. You see everybody looking. It's like,
yeah.
This memorable moment had to be sophomore year, finals for Coven. We had a really rough season for the drum line that entire year going into finals. We never had a really solid run.
Except for Cocaine. That was, I remember that being really.
Yeah, but other than that, we kind of never had a really solid run. I remember going in, I had no doubt that we were going to kill it, and we finished the show. We went through every movement. We went through first movement, I was like, that was awesome. Second movement, I was like, there we go. Third movement, we got to third movement, and I was like, we freaking did it. And we finished. And I was so relieved that our final performance was our best performance, and we could leave the field knowing that we gave it our all. And I remember we cried harder than I don't think I ever had.
the most memorable moment, that it's stereotyped, but definitely getting third place at Champs. That was definitely a very memorable moment. But more unique would be Guys and Dolls in December. We rehearsed for Guys and Dolls, and eggnog season is December season, and I love eggnog, so I would always get eggnog. And one of the days I had to bring the carton of eggnog to rehearsal. So the entire rehearsal, I was just swigging the eggnog carton basically the entire time, and everybody just thought it was super weird. But I was the true victor because I got delicious eggnog and some nice fun music.
I can't believe I'm a senior and I'm about to graduate. 4 years have gone by extremely quickly, and I'm happy about all the memories I've made because of the band. I still remember my first field show, Rain, and 66 at Savannah. I want to thank Mr. Bird for his endless support throughout all 4 years of band, and I especially want to thank all the band parents for taking time out of their days helping us with the band practices, football games, and competitions. I know all the seniors are going to pick this memory. My favorite memory would be sophomore year championships, going up in the stands and hearing the announcer call out Bonita High School, 3rd place. My most embarrassing moment of my high school career would definitely be that one festival where I missed the intro and you could hear the judges in the background and they were very disappointed in me. I'm definitely going to miss everyone in band, especially
my most embarrassing moment. I've had a lot, but the one that's coming to my mind right now is sophomore year. I was getting my instrument, and I was walking there. The drum major that year, Blake, went for a high five, and this is when we had the stand racks next to the flute cabinet instead of on the stairs. And so as I was going for the high five, I sliced my leg about this much on my shin the day before Smudge Pot, and I was limping everywhere, and I fell over. Everyone was looking at me, everyone was laughing, and but most people were not surprised because I keep falling all the time. So
my most memorable moment in band was this past year's You've Been Band. I remember sitting on the bus. I was sitting next to Chris Franco, and all of a sudden my leg was like soaked. and I didn't know what it was from. I thought maybe like I spilled a water bottle or something. No, I look over, Chris's baritone is turned this way, and all I see is a bunch of his saliva spilling out of that thing all over me. I let him know this was happening, and he decides to flip it and dump it more all over me.
Ladies and gentlemen, under the direction of Amanda Mora and Michelle Mian from the city of Laverne, performing their show entitled Heroes and Villains, a tribute to Stan Lee. The Chaffey High School 58th Annual Tournament of Bands is proud to present the Bonita High School Marching Bearcats.
It would be nice if people say, geez, I thought he was a good writer. His stories gave me a lot of pleasure. What I tried to do was write the kind of stories I would want to read. And sometimes I had a fucking friend to do that. all these years someone bothers to interview me, but I'm really very flattered.
Before I begin with my senior video, I want to give a big shout out to Bird, the man, the myth, the legend, my amazing clarinet section family, and everyone else in band. So with that in mind, let's take a trip down memory lane with me about my 4 years of band. So to start off, most memorable moment, I actually have 4 for all the years. So freshman year, I would say my most memorable moment was getting to spend my first year of band with my brother, Drake, who was a senior at the time. Sophomore year, I know this is cliche, but sometimes you gotta be a little cliche, would be winning 3rd place at championships. Junior year would be not having a field show, but we pulled something together, and so that was great. And also being band manager my first year. And finally, senior year, whew, I have so many favorite moments of senior year, but my one favorite would be at the showcase after we were taking photos. Katie ran up to me, yelled my name, and just picked me up bridal style and said she was gonna miss me. And that just made my heart melt.
Hi. My most memorable moment of being a part of band for 4 years was obviously Coven. Being able to come home and take home 3rd place was just an amazing feeling, and we just worked so hard, and I'm so proud to be a part of that. So yeah. An embarrassing moment, probably have to say when I had the big ice bucket poured over my head the first day of band camp. Yeah, it was pretty bad. But then I guess another part is when I had to jumpstart Mr. Bird's car, but then we couldn't find the battery in my mom's car, so I ended up having to leave him. So yeah.
Let's see, my most memorable moment, probably winning 3rd place in championships sophomore year. That was pretty great. Standing in the stands and hearing Bonita High School being named third place in championships for our show. That was pretty great. Let's see, most embarrassing moment. Freshman year. This was before class started, and I was sitting with my friends at the table in front of the band room, and my section leader at the time, JC, she had come by, and I wanted to ask her something, and so I sort of scooted on the seat, and I felt the seat disappear from under me, and I fell off the bench and onto the floor in front of my friends and section leader.
Okay, bye.
So my most memorable moment during band would definitely be getting third place at championships my sophomore year. It was just that day. It was so special. From the morning rehearsal to the runs before that we had, and the run in general. It was just so hype. And after the run, I just saw tears of joy and happiness everywhere from everyone. Everyone put in their all, and it was just a great time.
Alright, so my most embarrassing moment was probably my freshman year. We had just run like the last rep of the night. It was the closer, and I felt something hit my face, and I wasn't really sure what it was, and I tried not to freak out about it. So then after the rep was over, I like checked my face and there was nothing there. But then I looked down at my arm and there was a huge beetle just sitting there. So I like freaked out and started trying to wave it away. And then once it was gone, I looked up and I saw the assistant drum major, who I didn't know very well at the time, and he was standing there looking at me like I was a crazy person. Just the feeling of like being able to work with so many people to create something amazing. You really get to know a lot of the people that you work with through rehearsals and competitions and everything. And of course, being like with your section, you have a bunch of sectionals all the time and you hang out with everyone. It feels like a family, and I'm gonna miss that a lot.
of course, when we got 3rd place at championships for Coven, because I just remember like really feeling like, oh my god, like we did this and we worked so hard to do it. And like I just remember like having the medal being placed around me and everyone was just hugging each other and crying, and it was just so happy and so amazing. And then of course my most embarrassing moment would be the 2018 Winter Guard Championships, when I bawled my eyes out and became a living meme, and I just wouldn't stop crying, and the pictures everywhere, but it was still like just such a great embarrassing memory. But still.
Okay, hello, it's Chris Franco, sponsored by the Baritone Section, and so we were just, it was during the Guys and Dolls theater production, and so during that theater production, it was during the sad days of Fortnite and the dancing that ensued. And so during those times, we had the bright idea, I think it was me, Logan, Matt, Nathan Palmer, and I forget who else, and we went into the bathroom all together at the exact same time. And I don't know if we played like an audio track or something, and then so we just in unison began doing the default dance, and that was loud. Like in the default dance, I'm gonna give you some lore now. So in the default dance, you get this like clap in the beginning, and so you could ask Antonio about that. Antonio Cosio in the Baritone Section, also sponsored. You could ask him about that because he does it really well. And so like all of a sudden, you could just be minding your own business, walking down the hallway, and then all of a sudden you would just hear in the faint distance a little da 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 from the back.
During first period to like fix a set. We were all moving in pods, and I was in a pod with like 2 other clarinets and like I think 2 or 3 other sousaphones, and I usually never made that like backwards move, so I hauled this time, and as I was hauling I stepped on one of the sousaphone's foot, and when I realized I couldn't get off. I was just kind of like I froze. I didn't know what to do, and he couldn't move backwards. So he fell and he rolled with his sousaphone on, and he got up and he was like cussing me out, walking back to the band room all pissed off, and I felt so bad, but that's what happened.
Hi, my name is Charlotte Gray, and this is COVID-19 season, guys! Yay! So my most memorable moment is when we got first place at my freshman year's competition field season. my embarrassing moment is when, you know those stairs at like, when you first enter the band room and there's stairs? I walked down the stairs and I fell straight down. No one saw, but still it was embarrassing to me.
So for my most memorable moment, I'd have to say that was getting third place in Champs for Coven. I mean, I think a lot of us are going to remember that for a long time. I think my most embarrassing moment was this one time freshman year. We were learning a new set and we were all really close together, and I tripped and face planted out of nowhere in the middle of rehearsal.
So I'd have to say that my favorite time in band, my favorite memory, has to definitely be when we took Coven to Champs and got third place. It was really an incredible result that I never expected, especially not the season before at the end of that, because that was pretty frustrating. But even not the day of, I was hoping we'd crack top 6. That was like the dream, top 6. But getting third place was pretty amazing. I never expected that. And I'm not sure if it's my favorite show I've ever done, but it's my favorite show I've done with Benita for sure. And it might be the show that I'm the most proud of, because, you know, being a section leader that year, I really felt like I had a tangible contribution to the group, and specifically my section. And it was really great to see, you know, a lot of the freshmen really grow and become better. And the other underclassmen and everyone. It was really a special season for me.
Hi everyone. I miss all of you. and I hope I get to see you soon. I'm glad I'm able to see you guys virtually right now, but first, before we start, forgive my hair. I haven't had it cut in a few months, and I'm in desperate need of one. And I don't really feel like doing it right now, so let's get into it. My most memorable moment, or moments in band, would be my very first year as an 8th grader in marching band, which was really a blessing and an honor to me, and it helped me want to be in band all 4 years of my high school career. But my other memorable moment would be winning 3rd place in championship in sophomore year, which was absolutely amazing. And I wish I could go back to that day and relive it, because the feeling that I had when they said our school's name, I was so happy. But my most embarrassing moment, oh man, it would have to be, not with band, but with color guard, when they knocked me off at that table that I was laying on, and I had to stay completely still like a doll the entire show, and then I had to get up and walk in front of all those people. They did applaud me, but I was still a little embarrassed.
Well, hello, my name is Max, of course, the cooler Max, and I guess we'll get started with some questions. My most memorable moment would have to be in sophomore year. For one of my secret buddy gifts, I got a little plastic guitar with like plastic strings, and it could barely make a tone, or like a tone at all. And I remember after one competition late at night, while on the bus ride home, me and my friend Brandon Vigil were just making little tunes and like making little songs, and I just kept on strumming away on the small little guitar. And I mean, at the end of the night, my fingers were all like blistered and stuff, but there were a lot of laughs and just so much silly jokes.
My past 4 years in this program have been absolutely incredible. I've made so many memories. I think my most memorable experience would have to be my sophomore year just all together. You know, the successes we had that year were so incredible and an experience unlike no other. And the traditions we made from that year were also something that we carried through to this day. I think my most embarrassing experience would probably just be every day for me, because I always find a way to embarrass myself, whether that be falling down during practice or carrying a 6-foot inflatable pencil for half the season, or dropping all of my equipment while trying to walk back down to the band room right in front of Mr. Bird. Or all the pictures. Oh, can't forget the pictures. Yeah. Luckily,
my most memorable band moment has to be the time we went to championships. That was so much fun. Like, just everyone was super happy and hyped just to be there and having fun and just doing good. It was really good to see our band up there like that. My most embarrassing moment has to be, I have terrible memory, but sophomore, junior year, LA County Fair. The day of the fair, we were practicing going up the access road, and I tripped on the curb and just got annihilated by my drum. That is by far my most embarrassing moment, is just falling and just hitting my face on my harness.
Alright, so my most memorable moment would be, like most everyone else, with winning 3rd place for championships. That was fun. It was amazing waiting for them to call out, having a heart pumping, seeing the seniors at that time crying. The most embarrassing moment was one time I got a sandwich at one of the competitions. A nice pulled pork sandwich. Well, I got something stuck in my braces at that time. Didn't know what it was. So I reach in, trying to grab it, and I found this little bolt. I opened my sandwich and I found another couple bolts. Blake Ryamaki was sitting behind me, and he stared at me in horror and disgust, saying, why are you eating bolts? I'm like, I don't know.
Hello there, everyone, and peace and love. This is Jacob Hunkin's senior story time. So, pretty much the most memorable thing about band, I remember, is whenever we were having sectionals, if it was for jazz band or marching band, it didn't really matter. And Mullen would hear us and come over and listen to us for a few minutes, and then we'd finish, and then he'd go straight into telling us what we did wrong and how we should do it better. And then, what I'm probably going to miss most about band is jazz band, because, I always like the music that much, and it's fun. It's just a fun class. But also, there's nothing like getting up at 5 a.m. for jazz. And also, I'm going to miss Mr. Bird's terrible taste in carbonated beverages.
My most memorable moment from band is going to have to be all the concerts, practices, and football games and parades we went to, because all of them have their own special thing for me. I can't just pick one to have fun with. No, there was the one with the giant thunderstorm. Most embarrassing moment has to go with when I was putting things away in the shed after a football game, and I slipped on the ramp and ripped my uniform down the middle. That was pretty funny.
Feel so young. You make me feel like spring has sprung, and every time I see you grin, I'm such a happy individual. The moment that you speak, I wanna go play hide and seek. I wanna go and bounce the moon.
Fall in love, it will be forever, for I never fall in love.
Definitely at championship sophomore year. My section leader, Sam, I'm sure the seniors remember him and some of the juniors. He was ecstatic that we had made it so far in champs and we weren't called for 9th place or 10th place. And so by the time we were called for 3rd place, he was just absolutely overjoyed. And he just started grabbing the railing in front of him and shaking it. And I don't know how he moved it, because it was in cement in the bleachers and he was shaking it so hard it was moving. And it was just, a sight to see, because I don't think I've seen a human show that much pure, unadulterated joy since then. And it's just, you don't forget something like that.
Alright, most embarrassing memory. I'd say probably besides all the football game voice cracks or trying to get the band's attention, my most embarrassing memory would probably be my freshman year. We were about to march onto the field for a rehearsal before our competition in the morning. And our drum major Brianna called mark time hut, and so I yelled hut as loud as I could because I thought that was the right thing to do, and I was like, yeah. And then 0.2 seconds later I realized that no one else said hut, and I was instantly so embarrassed. And I just remember my section leader Sam behind me being like